Welcome everyone to the first episode of Running with Friends. I am your host, Jan Figueroa, and today I have a very special guest, a very good friend of mine. A lot of people know him in the running community. It is John Anderson Bobo the Third, also known as Bobo. How's it going, brother?
What's up, Jan? Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah,
First
man.
one ever?
Yes, sir. Honestly, when I thought about the idea and I was like, who should my first guest be? You were the first person that came to mind. Like, I think it's obvious, it's given that by far you're probably one of the most popular kids in the Florida running community, whether it's high
Wow.
school or college. I feel like everyone knows Bobo.
That's gas. That's gas. That's you. I try to take after you.
I feel like you even transcend the state of Florida. Like, there's people from other schools outside of the state that like are like, oh yeah, you know Bobo? Yeah, I know Bobo. I'm like, damn, like everyone knows Bobo.
I just try to meet a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that's the way you got to do it. So before we get started into our conversation, I kind of just want to tell the people a story of how we met. So Bobo and I are both from Central Florida. He went to Lake Highland Prep. I went to Lake Howell. We were pretty much rivals. Like, we raced almost every weekend. We ran around the same times.
Yeah.
We were always like right next to each other. Like, he'll beat me one week, I'll beat him the next. But we didn't really know each other. Like, we
hmm
knew of each other, but we didn't know each other. I think the first time we met was FACA Senior All Star Meet. Probably one of the most fun weekends of my high school cross country career by far.
That was
So
awesome.
for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, FACA is like the Florida Association of Athletics Coaches or something like that.
Something like that.
And they put on like a senior all-star race at the end of every year. So then it's like the top 7 or 8. They divide the state into the four regions: north, east, west, south, and the top 8 seniors by time from each region kind of get an invitation, which is kind of funny because I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, there were, like, if the fast guys from our region would have like accepted and gone, we probably would have never actually like met because we wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
Because when
Yeah. I
you
was a
think of
replacement player, definitely.
yes, because when you think about it, when I was like think about the list, it was Stephen Cross, Chaz Cook, Jesse Milson, Josh and Jordan from Lyman. Like, it was like our team was stacked. We were kind of like
Yeah.
we were like the replacement guys that like got pulled up once those guys were like, oh, we're declining because they were trying to qualify for national meets and stuff like that as a team
Yeah.
individual. So I think it kind of worked out for us because I met a lot of people there, and probably a lot of people who are still like some of my best friends right now. Like, that's where I met Rob as well. Met
Yeah. My
met,
roommate, Rob.
met Marshall Dillon, who runs at UF. Met
Luke Peterson.
Luke Peterson, who you're very good friends with. I'm very good friends with as well. Like, I think overall it's a great weekend. Met some great people. Got to meet you, and fast forward 4 years later, we're still friends. Honestly, it's great.
Yeah. It's funny. I think the first time we ever spoke was it was either at Winter Springs or at like FL Runners. Like, we finished right next to each other in the podium, like back to back weeks, and like we're getting our awards, and we just like each other. And I think you said at first, you're like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" Like, I'm Jan. I go, "Oh, what's up? I'm Bobo." And like,
Yes, bro. That's literally me. Like, I just love meeting people. Like, especially if you're a competitor, like someone who I compete against all the time, and someone who like runs around like my same level. Like, dude, like, respect. I got respect for everyone's grind. So I was like, yo, like, this kid, like, I've been battling with him like 3, 4 weeks in a row. Like, I need to introduce myself.
yeah, it's really fun to just reach out to the community. And the things you're saying about me, like everyone can say about you. Like, my whole team, they're all like, they were either like, "Who's Jan?" because they knew of you from Twitter, or they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we know Jan. That's our boy." Like Noah Perkins, Rob, like they love you. They've known you for a while and stuff like that. Or like anytime you'd run a race, would be like, "Oh, you see what Jan did?" Stuff like that. So it's kind of funny. I feel like we're like this little dynamic duo just because we've known each other for so long, and just the way we act is kind of similar.
Yes, sir. So for those of you who may not know, I'm pretty sure everyone knows it, but so Bobo runs for University of North Florida. He's going into his senior
Whoop.
year now. So kind of like talk to me about, going from high school to college, like that transition, and just, because guys like us, we're top guys at our high school, and then you go into the college level and you kind of like got to start from scratch. You're kind of like at the bottom, and you kind of got
hmm
to work your way up. There's so many adjustments you have to make. Like, what were some of like the biggest adjustments you had to make going into college and stuff like that?
Well, for my last 2 years, I was definitely like you said, like I was the best runner at my school, but I was never one of the best runners in the state. So like I was always used to like being kind of bottom on the totem pole and just always having something to chase. And so I was really excited to get to college and have that opportunity to have more people on my team to push me, because my team was very young. They ended up running really fast my old high school, their senior years, but like at that time they were freshmen, I was seniors. And so I was really excited, and I just love having the chip on my shoulder of like something to push me. You know, it's kind of like when Michael Jordan was always making up those things to like push him. Like stuff like that really motivates me and makes me work really hard. So I was really excited to get to college and get to that point. Uh, so
Yeah,
yeah,
honestly, I think I agree. I'm the same way. I think like being kind of like towards the bottom of the totem, like you said, like puts that chip on your shoulder where like you want to grind extra hard to like get to the top and like get to the top with those top where those top guys are that like I mean you can honestly say like you look up to like guys like that. You're like, damn,
definitely. Yeah.
like you want to be like guys like that. So then you like grind extra hard every day. Like you do the little things as well, and then you just work extra hard just to get up there.
And also, I would say I felt lucky to get on the UNF team when I did, just because my times were good. I was hurt a lot my senior year, and so my times didn't progress that much. But so all my times were from my junior year. I had a lot of potential doing a lot of low mileage, and I was lucky enough to just get in contact with Coach Pig, the coach at UNF, and like explain the situation and all this stuff. And we connected. We're bros now. Like I love the man. Such a great coach, great guy.
I love Coach
Um,
Pig, man.
and so when I got to UNF, I felt like I was like, I didn't feel undeserving, but I definitely felt like lucky and like very grateful for this opportunity. So that also I think helped push me and continue to grind hard in college, because I know a hard thing for people in college is getting there and then continuing to work hard, because it's like a whole different like section of your running career. There's a lot more things going on in college too that people can get distracted with.
Oh
So
yeah,
that kind of
absolutely.
helped me stay focused.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's especially it's like 4 years of straight grind, dude. Like
Yeah.
you gotta like stay focused because you get. I mean, everyone gets distracted at some point and gets derailed, but like it's all about like just finding that focus and getting back on track. So you mentioned you dealt with a lot of injuries in high school. I know you dealt with some injuries in college. Talk to me about your ankle, or was it
Yeah.
it was your ankle, right? You
Yeah.
broke your
Yeah.
ankle.
So in high school, I wasn't really injured till my senior year, and so like that was my first time really experiencing that. And then college was going good. When you're running in college, you're always banged up. We were talking about this the other week because Jan was staying at my house last week, so
Yes, sir.
we were booling. But so then I had a good freshman year. Like it was funny. Jan and I ran the same exact 5K time on the track our freshman year, same day at two different meets.
Yep,
So,
I remember that.
that
That's so
connection's
funny.
strong. First time sub 16 for both of us. Um, well, I don't know for you, but so yeah. And then sophomore year was going well. Before I was a low runner. Then sophomore year, I was our sixth guy on our team for cross country, so I was making a huge jump, and I was ready for a huge track season, grinding really hard, doing high mileage like I've never done before. And then in February, I broke my ankle running on a curb. So that was very unfortunate. Probably one of the worst pains I've ever experienced. And it was a mildly displaced fracture, but I did have to get surgery on it. And I got 7 screws, and a plate, something like that, of straight carbon fiber. But yeah, so that took
Yes.
me out. That took me out for like, I think maybe 3 months, like in a cast. Like I was on one of those like roller scooter things going through campus, and I
Yeah.
ate it. I ate it on it a few times. Like I was going way too hard or like messing around with my teammates. But then it kind of took me my whole. It took me almost a year to get back to like running normally, I'd say, because not necessarily like getting in good shape, but also like the mechanics of my ankle, like getting
Yeah.
that back was kind of tough. And so I redshirted cross country, and then I ran track, which it was still had its ups and downs, because when you train really hard without having a base, like that really affected me as someone who's like
Yeah.
a long distance guy, kind of like you. And then, so yeah, that was like a year of just trying to get back and getting used to running. So that was a really tough time. But, you know, like when you have people in the community like you, and then I was always involved with my team when I was hurt, I think that's a big key. If you're hurt or like kind of on the outside for some reason, like always try to stay connected. Like I
Yeah,
was at every
that's
practice
what I was gonna.
anyways.
That's what I was going to ask. Because obviously, when you get sidelined for 3 months, where it's like literally no running, like you said, you're on a scooter, like that can be hard for some people. Like it can really like you can really lose motivation. Like some people can even go into like depressions when stuff like injuries like that happen. Like luckily,
Yeah.
I've never been injured for that long period of time. But like, what was like you said, you were at practice all the time. But what were some other things that like kind of kept you like in there, like, and you were like, okay, I'm good, I'm good. Like I know once I come back, I'll be good. Like that kept you motivated during that time.
Yeah. One, I played a lot of Fortnite. That,
That was when Fortnite was huge.
yeah, that was like it was booming. And Jan was the first man on Fortnite. I swear to God, he put people on.
I love that game, bro.
So I played a lot of that, and then one just like my team environment was really cool, and like you know how it is, like your team's like your whole life when you're at school.
Yeah,
So it's like I wouldn't not want to be with them, and so I just try to be there every day. And then also one of my current roommate and old teammate, Manny Velasquez, he got ran over by a car like my freshman year, and it was his junior year. And so that was like a terrible injury, and he like that finished his collegiate career. He's actually running now, but like he was always involved with the team when he could, when he had that injury and when he was coming back. So like seeing how someone acted before me that I really admired kind of like impacted me and like told me like you if you do these things like you can stay happy. So
yeah, of course. Yeah, that's very good. So then let's talk about what's going on now. So obviously we have this coronavirus that's screwing everyone in their seasons. But first
first that
I
thing.
want to talk about, let's rewind back to like what, February, March. So you guys had out on indoor season.
Yeah.
You ran 15 flat, like 15.00 whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you were ecstatic for outdoor. You were like, let's go. Like I ran 15 flat. I know I can go sub 15. It's the elusive sub 15 that almost every distance runner in college wants to hit. And then you find out that there's NCAA decides to cancel all spring sports. What was your initial reaction to
Dang. Well, first thing I thought was I can't see my boy Jan snap because if you didn't know, like the 2 weeks before I ran that, Jan ran 14:35 outdoors, which
that?
was huge. Because I
It
know you
was,
probably weren't going to say anything, but I'll gas you up.
oh man, it was a big race for me, man.
So that was dope. And then, so yeah, I ran 15 flat, which was like it was bittersweet because it's like I've always been trying to get to this level of my collegiate career that like I like know I could get to. And I think this year in cross country and in track, like I finally got there. And then like right as you get there, I think it's the same for you too. It's like
Yeah, 100%.
everything's cut off now. And it's like, oh, like 3 years of grinding, like getting injured, coming back, and then you get to this point and then you can't like continue your like success or like the opportunities in front of you. And so I mean, yeah, I really wanted to break 15. Like that's I mean, I think I can speak for you too and a lot of runners. Like that's like the biggest goal for
Yeah,
like a
yeah, it's
college
huge.
like runner or something. And so I know I could definitely get that outdoors, but then it was more just like when I heard the news that the season was canceled, I was more just like sad that like it like our daily lives were kind of messed up and done, you know, because
Yeah,
like running fast is cool and all, but then it's just like our livelihood. And then also I felt bad for like all the other athletes and all the other sports too.
yeah, of course. Yeah, no, it's like it's weird. You go through like you said, we've gone through like 3 4 years of like the same routine, and then all of a sudden like this virus comes and it's like seasons canceled, no practices, teammates like start going back home. Like, I mean, at least I graduated, so like the end of my senior year definitely did not go as I pictured it. Like, I was looking forward to like end of year sports banquet at FGCU. I was looking forward to like just like cross country banquet with my teammates, just like enjoying the last few months of college with my teammates, and then all of a sudden it's like everyone's home, everyone's gone, like it's over. just like
Yeah.
that, like virtual graduation. Like it was so weird. It's crazy how fast it happened. But like you said, yeah, it was like I feel like me and you, like we're guys that like 3 years of grinding. Like it's like 3 years of like figuring things out. We've gotten better every year progressively, and then this year it was like boom, like we were like blowing up. Like you had a stellar cross country career, a cross country season in the fall, and then like we like it's like you said, we were trying to figure things out. We're trying to like really get to that level that we knew we can get to, and then all of a sudden it's like everything's cut off. Like at least for me, like it made me like super hungry. Like I mean,
Yeah.
everyone probably already knows this, but like I decided to pursue a fifth year just because I was like, man, like I can't end on that note. Like I know I have
Definitely.
more to give. So like I decided to pursue a fifth year of track. But yeah, like I feel like it made us all hungry to work harder. And then all of a sudden it's like now we have like this glooming cloud above us where it's like, man, cross country season might be on the verge of not happening either, which is
Yeah. Definitely. Well, at least on the good side, like you know that you can get back to this level again
oh
because like
yeah.
you've gotten there, which is good. And also like this summer, I know you've been hanging out at a bunch of different places with different friends and stuff. You're up in Jacksonville for about 2 weeks. Like just enjoying running right now is awesome. And I know you know that you're not going to have a season. We're finding out this week or something.
Yeah.
But whether we have a season or not, like I think I'm still just gonna keep enjoying running and this grind of just trying to pursue something, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like this has been the one summer, which is funny because it's like the one summer where like we're hit with this virus and like it kind of sucks. But it's definitely been the one summer where like I've really like been having a lot of fun. Like I started a YouTube channel where I make videos like when I run with people and
Great
stuff like
channel.
that. Started this podcast. Like I've just been having a lot of fun with running, having a lot of fun with my friends. Like love all my friends who run. Like love meeting up with people, and I feel like everyone's like in crazy shape this summer, or is it just me? Like at least from like
Yeah,
what at least from what I see on Strava, like I feel like man, like people were ready to snap this year. Like
for
it was gonna be
real.
insane.
I'm with you. I'm seeing dudes like I'm even on my team, like doing mileage. I've never seen them done before. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And so
Yeah,
that's really hype.
yeah, no, it's crazy. So yeah, so I was up in Jacksonville about a week ago. I was there for like 2 weeks, but probably like 3 to 4 weeks before I was in Jacksonville, I mean, you announced this, so I feel like it's safe for me to say
Yes, sir.
you tested positive for coronavirus, and it took you out for 10 days from running. Talk to me about that, like
Yeah.
being out and then just having to kind of like come back and like build up again, and just the recovery from the virus.
Yeah. Well, just a warning to the fans. I did test negative, and my house was clean before Jan came up and visited again.
Yeah,
We're safe
yeah,
people here.
we're happy.
Um, yeah. So the whole time leading up to, I'll kind of intertwine running into this. I mean, that's what the podcast is about. But so during the break, so like the season ended, I wasn't running that consistent just because like I was a little banged up because it was one thing that people don't realize, like running without like your trainer or whatever, or just having the people to help you and the resources that you have at school when you're at home is kind of tough, especially for someone like me who's like my ankle is fully healed, but it's still like has remnants and still kind of bangs me up that I need work on. And so that kind of made like March and April just kind of like up and down running, but I was still like running every other day basically. And then May hit, and then May and June, I was getting back into it. Like my body was healthy. I was running, I got up to 70 miles like pretty early in June, which I've never done before. And then I tested positive for coronavirus, but actually like I felt the symptoms before. And so I felt really sick, and there's like no way I can run through this. And honestly, like if there's possibility there's not going to be a season, like it's okay to rest. And also it's for my own health and safety, you know, whether season or not, you should always take care of yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to be smart in the summers.
Definitely.
You don't
And
want to overwork yourself.
yeah. And so I was out for like 10 to 12 days. I had mild symptoms, thankfully, because you know there are people that are dying from this, which is really scary. So I'm very grateful that like one of the things I was worrying about was running. Like that's uh, that's pretty lucky for me. Um, but then getting back into running was pretty tough. One, I didn't run for 10 to 12 days. Um, Maybe I'm ignorant for saying I don't think I lost everything that I like had prior to the buildup. Maybe I'm just saying that to keep my like head in the game. But also, like, not was I just coming back from a deadly virus and also like not running for 10 days. It's July in Florida. So hot.
Oh, so hot. And even when you try to run like either early in the morning or late at night when it's not the sun's not out and it's not hot, it's 100 like 90 to 100% humidity, which might be even worse.
You could be in the best shape ever, like the shape Jan is in, and this heat will kick your butt, man.
Oh,
Like,
dude. Oh, yeah. This heat had. I mean, I did a fartlek workout in Jacksonville. I decided to like sleep until like 10. I was like, oh, I'll be fine. Like, it's a little hot. It's not that bad. It kicked my ass, dude. It kicked my ass. I was like, dude, I need to get to the house and get some water ASAP.
yeah. I've been running for about 3 or 4 weeks now after that. And I hit like mid 60s in the miles last week. So I think I'm finally like I'm back to where I was, but
Yes,
still like
sir.
slowly bringing up the shape. And running's really fun right now. Like when you came up, it was so fun to run with you. We have a lot of teammates that came back in town finally. And honestly, like running does have its ups and downs when it's not fun and when it is fun. And right now, I'm just really enjoying it and just enjoying life and enjoying the people I'm around. It's like this past week, like my teammate Noah Perkins came back into town and he's working, so he could only run at 6 a.m. So I'm like, screw it, I'll run with you at 6 a.m. every day.
Yes,
And like
sir.
I've had so much fun doing that, which I know sounds crazy, but it's just like it's the grind, like something special about it.
Oh, dude, yeah. You gotta love it. All right, so enough about running. Let's talk about. I mean, you've been keeping yourself pretty busy during this quarantine. You've picked up some good hobbies. Let's talk about photography. For those of you guys who don't know, make sure you guys go follow on Instagram at Bobo underscore studio. Right.
I think it's a period studios.
All right, so
I'm
either
not quite sure.
one of those two, but
Yeah.
Bobo Studios on Instagram. Some great photography. My man is nice with the film camera. Talk to me how you got into that and like why you enjoy it.
Thank you. Also, shout out to Jan. He's been getting into photography and he's killing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You're the one that inspired me, low key.
Appreciate that. So yeah, I was getting into photography at the beginning of quarantine with a digital camera, and I've always been interested with it, and I've always been like decent at it, and it's just like it's not necessarily about being good at it. It's just like another creative outlet, because for me, like I always just love finding ways to express myself, and I'm sure you're the same way. And just like finding different mediums to do that always excites me. That's also kind of why like I feel like I always jump around from different stuff because I'm always so excited from a new outlet. But so I was getting into photography, and then I was just like watching all these YouTube videos and stuff. And my brother's and goes to art school, so whenever I have questions about anything art related, he's a film major, but I'll hit him up and he always has all the info. So like I was talking to him about some stuff, and I was finding some YouTube videos, and I got into like the film photography section on YouTube, and I started looking up on that because one, it's like, what is film photography? Like basically, like if you don't know, it's just how we have digital cameras now. It's what was before that. Like you get a roll of film, you put it in the back of the camera, you take pictures on it, then you have to go get it developed and stuff like that, or you can develop yourself. I'm not to that level yet, but I was so interested in and like that and exploring it because it's not just there's different cameras, there's all these different films, there's different lenses, and there's something about the process of like not being able to see your picture right away that just really intrigued me. And so I went back home to Orlando for a weekend, and my dad actually had like an old Minolta camera from 1980s or something. So I got that, and then I've just been using that, buying some new cameras, and I've been just really getting into it lately. It's slowed down a little bit now just because my source of income has not been as disposable. And I mean, you have to like pay to get the film scanned and developed and stuff, which kind of sucks, but I'm still snapping pictures, and it's just like it's a different medium that's not like widely like popular, It's kind of niche
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, no, Bobo loves photography, and while I was up there in Jacksonville, he always play me all these videos and show me all his pictures, and like I was like, damn, like I want like I take pictures on my phone, but I was like, I kind of want my own camera. So while I was in Jacksonville, I actually hopped on Facebook Marketplace and bought my
Yes,
first
sir.
digital camera, which I go around now. I take it everywhere with me. Start take pictures of like random stuff. Like you said, that's what it's about. Like it's not about being good at it. It's just about like, damn, I saw something cool. Like I just want to take a picture of it because why not?
Definitely, yeah.
So yeah, I bought my first camera. Shout out to Bobo for pretty much inspiring me to buy my first camera. All right, so another hobby of yours. I don't know if you're ready for this, but you're a huge music fan just like myself, and you actually make some sick beats. Do you think you can play us a beat?
Wow. Play you a beat. Maybe. Let me find one. This is definitely more on the hobby side of this stuff, like photography. Like I'm a communication major, like so I've learned a bunch of skills for that. This I had zero skills going into. I just got a beat making software for my birthday like 3 years ago. So I just hop on it every now and then. But this summer I've been really like looking into stuff and trying to figure out how to do it and learning a lot. And so I've been doing it to pass the time.
Yeah,
Um,
coming soon on SoundCloud. We're dropping a rap, but it's gonna be a beat by Bobo, and then I'm gonna spit on it. So just stay tuned because it's coming soon.
wow.
But
Um,
wait, I mean,
hmm,
no
hmm.
pressure. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But while you look for one, let's talk music. So I wanna ask you, give me like your favorite 3 to 5 albums in 2020 so far.
Top three albums.
Yeah, not even top three, just like your three favorite.
Okay. Wow. Hmm.
There's been some good albums so far in 2020. It's only been 7 months.
Damn. I gotta remember what came out. Like
I'll give you mine. So
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
refresh your memory, I definitely got to go with the Dreamville album. The album
I
is
think that
so
was from
good.
last year.
Well, no, I think it dropped like in January.
Did it?
Yeah, 100%. It dropped like right at the beginning of 2020.
That might have been the deluxe.
Oh,
But
you might be right.
nevertheless, that is one of
That
the
is
best albums of the last 2 years. We were bumping that so much.
another album that literally just came out. Pop Smoke's new album. I think it's amazing. 50 Cent like killed it. Like the songs he samples, like the features were great. Like I thought it was a great album. Rip Pop Smoke, and
Rip.
then what would be another one? I'm trying to think because there's really been some really good albums this year so far.
I
Oh
really like the Future one.
yeah, Future was good. I definitely have to go with Lil Baby's. Lil Baby's album is so good. Like there's so many bangers on there. Lil Baby just hit him by himself like has had a killer 2020. Like every
He's on the
every
come up,
album,
man.
every song, every feature he's done, like he's been killing it.
I'm not the biggest little baby fan, but I respect his game and like I can see he's improving, and so that's pretty dope. For me, I'd say definitely the Future album. I'm a huge Future guy. Um, I really like this. This is kind of like old school hip hop. It's West Side Gun, Pray for Paris. I really like that. That was like right as quarantine hit.
Yeah,
I honestly just can't really remember what else came out. The
I
Run the
know.
Jewels had a great album.
Oh yeah, they did.
They're pretty fire.
I think it's
Man,
because there's been so many albums, honestly.
I'm just waiting for the Playboy Cardi, man. I don't think it's ever gonna come, but
You guys up there in Jacksonville love Playboy Cardi.
dude, Tim Doyle put me on. He
My
loves
boy.
him the most out of anyone I've ever met.
That's so funny. I love that boy Tim. He does love Playboy Cardi. Big fan.
Yeah, like he'll play him just nonstop in the locker room, and I don't have a problem with it. Like we'll listen to all of the leaks together before races. Like we'll share an AirPod just like on YouTube, looking at unreleased songs, just getting hyped.
So let's move on to some other things. Let's talk about NBA. We're both huge NBA fans.
Yes, sir.
NBA is coming back. I'm super hyped about that. You know, the bubble. They just announced that no player in the bubble tested positive for coronavirus. It might be the safest place in America right now.
Maybe in the world.
Honestly, like I might have to move into the bubble. I've been watching so many videos of like players like kind of like blogging in the bubble, and I think it's so funny. Like just like seeing what they go through and stuff like
Ma-
that.
yeah, Matisse Thybulle's YouTube channel. So
Huge.
good.
I just subscribed the other day. I literally just watched all three of his videos the other day. So before we start talking about playoffs, let's say the NBA bubble wasn't a thing. The NBA season ended when quarantine ended. Give me your NBA awards: MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, and Coach of the Year.
Wow. Okay. Well, rookie of
So
the year, I'm giving it Ja Morant. Like, I'm
yeah,
sorry,
okay.
Zion.
I'm
Zion
glad.
didn't.
I'm glad we agree on that one.
Yeah, Zion did not play enough.
Yeah, Zion. I feel like if Zion would have played like maybe like 50 to 60% of the season, he might have snagged it. Just because when he did come back, the dude was tearing it up. Like it was ridiculous. But
Yeah,
John
and
Moore,
it's not.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's not like if Zion like did play the whole season, he might be the runaway. But like, Ja Morant has led his team to the playoffs
Yes, in
as
the
a rookie.
West,
He's like the leader of that team.
and in the West too, which is impressive because the West is stacked. But yeah, I definitely gotta agree with John Morant for Rookie of the Year.
Coach of the year. This is tough. I haven't looked into that one as much. I've seen some people saying the Grizzlies head coach. I would say honestly, Billy Donovan or Nick Nurse for the Raptors. I think Nick Nurse won it last year, but I think he deserves it again because that team is just they lost Kawhi, and I think they're a sleeper to get out of the
Yes.
Eastern Conference.
Okay, so I like both of those picks because those would be also my two picks. I feel like Nick Nurse, great coach. I feel like when Kawhi left the Raptors after they won the championship last year, everyone counted them out. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, they're done." Like, I mean, they might still make the playoffs, but they have no chance. But they're low key a contender in the East to make it out of the East to the NBA Finals. And then Billy Donovan, just what they've same thing with Oklahoma. Like, I feel like once Paul George and Russell Westbrook left, they got CP3, but like everyone was like CP3 is not enough. CP3 has barely made the playoffs before, like blah blah blah. Like they also counted Oklahoma City out, and they're in the playoffs, and they're a sleeper pick too. Like I would not want to play Oklahoma City in the first round.
Yeah, I did not expect OKC to do that well.
Yeah, no,
For yeah,
yeah, like when when we were looking, I was looking at it last year. I was like, damn, like all these West teams are so good. Like, who would you bump out from the playoffs? And I was like, oh, obviously Oklahoma City. Like, they lost Paul George, they lost Russell Westbrook. No shot they make the playoffs in the West. But here they are. They're in the bubble. They're in the playoffs, and they might make some noise.
it speaks to how good CP3 is. He's a legend.
The point guard.
Yeah. So for most improved, this one's also kind of tough. I'd say I'd be in between Brandon Ingram and Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
I
I,
think I think I'm going to give it to Bam over Brandon Ingram just because I think Ingram just the scenery. I think some people knew this was in him, and Bam just what he means to that team, and he does a lot more. And he was also an All Star this year, so I'm
yeah.
gonna go with him.
Yeah. I mean, both players were all stars this year. But I agree. I feel like a lot of people knew like once Brandon Ingram left the Lakers and was kind of like on a team where he could like flourish more, he was capable of that. But I feel like no one expected Bam to do what he's
Yeah.
done this year, except probably like people within the Miami Heat organization. And
Hmm.
he's actually been huge for them, and he needs to continue to be huge for them in the playoffs if they want to make a push. But
Definitely.
I'm gonna go with Ingram on this one. I'll go with Ingram just because he has improved a lot, and I mean his team is also right there. Like they're not in the playoffs, but they might sneak in. So
Yeah.
I'll go with Ingram.
And then six man of the. Did you say six man?
I forgot six man, but yeah, let me hear it.
I think I'll just do the safest pick of all time. Oh no, I'm saying Terrence Ross because I'm an Orlando fan.
Terrence Ross. Okay, that's a bold pick. I
He's
don't.
just the Human Torch. That's what they call him down here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's gonna go. A lot of people will go Lou Williams.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
my other pick.
that's like the safest pick. Like, I mean, he's won it like what 2, 3 times already. He's huge boost for the Clippers off the bench. I mean,
Oh yeah,
he could easily be a starter for the Clippers. He could easily be a starter anywhere else in the NBA. But I mean, you gotta respect a guy who acknowledges his role and like doesn't need to shine in order to like succeed. Like the guy's like, oh yeah, I'm cool with coming off the bench. I'm cool with coming off the bench and dropping 25 to 30 on a team. Like the dude's a bucket.
for real. And you could also go Montrezl Harrell from the same team.
Yeah. They're a good 1-2 punch off the bench. I think. I just think Lou Wills like has like better statistics overall, and I just feel like also like a lot of these awards are kind of like sometimes a popularity contest, and I feel like Lou Will like everyone knows Lou Will's the sixth man. I mean, freaking Drake made
Yeah.
a song about him.
So two left. Defensive Player of the Year. I think I don't really know honestly. So I'll just say AD.
Yes, let's go.
I think you could say him or Giannis.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I don't have much to speak on that.
yeah. I think AD will probably win it.
And then the one
The
which I feel like
MVP.
we might
Let's
disagree on.
let's hear this one.
I'm saying Giannis.
Oh, I'm saying Giannis too.
Okay, I know you're a Lakers boy.
I'm a Lakers fan, but the only reason this is my argument why Giannis should win it. Giannis won it last year, elevated his game even more. Giannis is in the on the Bucks. They have the number one seed in the whole entire NBA, and people argue like, well, yeah, like they're in the East. They have an easier schedule because they play more East teams. LeBron's number one seed in the West. They have a harder schedule. They play West teams. The West teams are harder. But my argument is yeah, LeBron. Don't get me wrong. LeBron's the best player in the NBA. But I don't. The only reason I don't think he's MVP is because he has AD. Who does Giannis have? Like Giannis' second best player is
Like
Chris
Chris
Middleton.
Middleton.
And don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, Chris Middleton's a bucket. But like, yeah, Chris Middleton can go out and give you like 25, 30, like probably any given night. But AD can go out and give you 45 to 60 any given night if he wants to. Like if we're being real.
Yeah, and the thing is, like LeBron, great all around. I feel like he didn't really turn it on till like the last like 2 months.
Yeah, and
But
Giannis
Giannis
was
was
on.
doing that the whole time,
Yeah.
and on both ends to the floor. Not that LeBron doesn't play defense. I'm a huge LeBron guy. He's the GOAT. But it's just, yeah, Giannis huge to the team on offense, but also on defense. He's like he keeps that team steady. He's their rock.
So yeah. So let's talk about playoffs. Give me your team to make it out of the West and your team to make it out of the East, and then who do you think will win the NBA title? And then give me your sleeper team.
Okay. Wow. When it comes to NBA, I'm a huge contrarian because I like to pick these teams that are like all the NBA nerds like that like people don't think they know. But then it's so tough because like for this year, I think I don't want to say okay. I'm gonna give the Bucks and the Lakers are obviously the two teams that can make it out.
Yeah, the favorites.
I think I think the Lakers have a better chance than the Bucks just because they're still young and playoff experienced.
To make it out or to win it all?
Oh, to make it to the finals.
Really? That's interesting because I mean I'm one of those NBA guys that's like the East is weak, and I think the Bucks have better chance than the Lakers just because the Lakers got to get through some tough teams.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I'll say Bucks and Lakers are going to make it out. I think the Lakers will win it this year. So I guess that's my pick. But for the East, I said it already. I think the Raptors, they're a sleeper.
Yeah, I would agree. I think my for me the sleepers are the East, the Raptors. You also can't count out the Celtics. Like even though they're
Mm-hmm.
super young, but they can be deadly. Everyone always says, "Oh, Philly," but like, man, like we've been saying Philly for like the last 4 or 5 years, and like they just never
Yeah.
like get over that hump. I don't think they will this year, even though Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are great players. And then out west, I feel like, man, you got who? You got
Honestly, okay. The Nuggets. I think the
yes,
Nuggets
the
can make a
Nuggets.
run.
I love the Nuggets. I've always loved the Nuggets. I loved the Nuggets last year. I was so sad when they lost to the Portland Trailblazers, but the Nuggets are huge. I think freaking Houston with Westbrook and Harden, even though they're playing small ball, I feel like that might
I'm
not
with you.
benefit them. But man, Harden and Westbrook in the playoffs, like that's so dangerous.
Yeah. I do really like this Rockets team, and they were just kind of like coming on at the end of the year because they were just like finally figuring out how to let Westbrook play. Um, because they're kind of just like now they learned like they don't do the small ball. Well, they've been doing small ball to shoot threes, but they've been playing without a center just so they can let Westbrook be their center
Yeah,
and just kind of like put his head down and do whatever he wants with having James. But Harden, I love Harden, but he chokes so hard in the playoffs.
I agree. I also want to see. I'm hoping that Portland can pull through and make it in the playoffs because I think they're a dangerous team. They're getting their two big men back,
Mm.
and
Oh yeah, that's right.
they have probably one of the best backcourts in the playoffs right now. I mean, Steph and Clay are the best backcourt in the NBA. Then Russ and Harden, but like CJ and Dame Dollar are legit, and then
They're pretty dangerous.
You have Carmelo Anthony, which I want. I just want to see Carmelo in the playoffs. That's all.
Yeah, damn.
That's literally the only reason I want Portland to make is because I want to see Melo, especially if they get like the eighth seed and they have to play against the Lakers and you little LeBron Melo action in the playoffs like old times. Like that would be so
Oh
sick.
wow. Okay,
That would,
now I want that.
that would be
Dang.
so sick.
Also, shout out to Anthony Simons. He's from Orlando.
Yes, sir.
He went to
Yo,
Edgewater for a little bit.
yeah.
Um, dang, I do really like Memphis. Like when I first started watching the NBA, I really liked Memphis, and my mom's from there, so I kind of like adopted them. And I love John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. So I don't know. And then it would be also cool to see Zion. I know
Oh
I
yeah,
was
hundred
I
percent.
was pro John Morant, but I think Zion has the opportunity to be one of the best ever.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. He's just so physically athletic. Is insane.
yeah, those are my picks.
All right, so before we wrap up this episode, I want to do a little Q&A so people kind of get to know you a little better. I'll just ask you some questions and you kind of just give me the first answer that popped into your head.
Cool.
Or I mean, you could think about it a little bit, but
I'll
let's
do
get
speed round.
all right. Let's get it started. Favorite trainers to train with.
Oh, Brooks Ghosts.
Favorite rapper.
Cardi.
All right,
Playboy Cardi.
this one might get you in a little trouble, but favorite teammate.
Dang, that will get me in trouble. um, dang,
You have a lot of good teammates, so that's a
I
tough
know.
question.
I'll say Rob Lavaroni because he's not on the team anymore.
Smart move.
Safe bet.
Favorite race, like distance wise, 8K, 5K, 3K, mile.
Wow. Whew. Honestly, I'm gonna say 8K
8K,
just
okay.
because I think I have it figured out. I
I
don't want to
like.
jinx myself, but it's like 10K is way too tough. Like
Oh,
that
dude.
race sucks. So painful.
I agree. I agree. I hate the 10K. I hate the 10K, which is
But
funny
the
because
eight,
I'm pretty sure like now going into a school that actually has a track team and like will be competing at conference. I know for sure I'm gonna get thrown into running the 10K on the track, which I'm really not looking forward to.
yeah. There's something special about the 10K, but it is a different type of grind. But yeah, like the 8K, it's like the perfect distance, and it's like a race where you can really wind up. Like you can sit back and go. But the 5K for me is just a sprint the whole way.
All right, biggest pet peeve.
Ugh, when people invite me onto their podcasts. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Biggest pet peeve? Ooh, this is so tough. Probably when people like make like a noise with their mouth, like when they're just being silent. I'm just like, shut up.
All right, all right. Morning run or night run?
So many pros and cons for both. I'm gonna go morning because I'm a grinder.
I like it. Favorite drink?
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. You are a big Dr. Pepper guy. All right, me and you both social butterflies. What's your favorite social media app? I feel like I know the answer to this.
Twitter.
Twitter is undefeated, man. People on Twitter
Twitter's
are so
goat.
funny. I've been getting roasted on Twitter for the past 2 days.
Oh,
It's
it's
so
so
funny.
funny.
All right, so biggest fear.
Dying.
I agree. No, I don't want to die. I'm too young. Favorite kind of food.
Wait, can I say one thing? The people that say they don't fear death, get out of here.
Cappers.
You're big cap.
Favorite kind of food.
Pizza.
All right, and favorite restaurant.
Ooh. Taco Lou.
I like that place. All
Yes,
right,
sir. Best food in Jack's.
this last one's for the ladies. Are you single or are you taken?
I'm single.
There you have it, ladies. My man Bobo is single, so make sure you hit him up. Great guy, man. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. Being the
Thanks
first
for
guest.
having me.
Being the first guest. This was fun. You know, you're my
Yeah.
brother for life.
Right back at you. This is so dope.
I'll be I'll be visiting you again soon. I plan on coming to Jacksonville probably like beginning of August.
Awesome.
Just because it's always fun being up there with you guys.
Yes, sir. I'll be in better shape this time too.
Oh yeah, I love it. But yeah, man, I honestly really appreciate you coming on. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the people enjoy it. And like, we'll keep building from this.
Thank you. Can't wait to see where this pod goes.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good day.
You too.